Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in a flashlight to take a look at. This one's coming from Brinyte and the model is the WT01. This is going to be a fairly compact light with good output. It's going to have an auto on feature, which is kind of interesting, and a somewhat unique charging system. So stick around if you want to learn about it. I'll do a real quick unboxing. I'll go over all the features and specifications. I'll go over the user interface, try to give you guys some beam shots, and then give some overall thoughts on it. Quickly show you around the box here. There's not a ton of information on it. There are some QR codes you can scan there for their social media stuff. But let's get into this, see how things are packaged and what all we get. So we are presented with the light itself right up on top here. Let's get that foam out, see what else is down in here. So we're going to have the charging cradle, some charging cables. This is type A to type C, and there's a second one in there. I believe this is the battery, some spare O-rings, and then a manual. This other card in here is like a way to extend your warranty by 3 years if you register your product. I do want to quickly show you this manual just in case there's anything that I leave out in the video, or in case you buy this flashlight and lose your manual. You can always come back to the video for reference. This was the included battery. It is a 26650, 5000 milliamp hours. It does have a built-in USB-C charging port right there. So here is the WT01. I'm going to give you guys some close-ups before we start going over all the details. So this light is made out of aluminum. I assume it's 6061. It has a really nice anodization on it. It's got some heat sinks up here around the head and then some grooves here around the body. They are using a Lumens SST40 LED. Max output with this is 2700 lumens. This has a really deep reflector, and I believe this throws about 350 yards or so. This is going to have an IP68 waterproof and dustproof rating, so it's definitely submersible. And also its impact resistance is at 1 meter. As far as dimensions, we're looking at 5.8 inches in length with a head diameter of 1.76 and a body diameter of 1.38. Let's grab a weight on this. Flashlight by itself is about 8.3 ounces. Add the battery, we're 11.9 ounces. I'm going to get the battery put in this. We'll go over the user interface, then I'll show you guys some of the things with the charging and then some of the unique features with this. As you can see, the wall on this is extremely thick here. This will also work with an 18650 besides the 26650. Really smooth threads. So the user interface of this flashlight is very simple. You're going to have 4 main modes and then a highest or turbo mode. To turn the light on, you just single click the button here. This does have mode memory, and what we're in right now is the lowest output. That is 10 lumens. If you want to increase to like the next brightness, you just press and hold. And then this is going to take us into our low. That is going to be 50 lumens. There is a sizable jump between the next one, which is medium. It is 500 lumens. You can really see that center hotspot there with that. Next up will be high, which is 1650 lumens. Again, almost a blinding hotspot with that. And then you double click to get to your turbo, which is 2700 lumens. One really nice thing about this high 1600 plus lumens, there is not a step down on this. This will run for well over 2 hours, basically until the battery is depleted, so you do not have to worry about that stepping down. Let's say we're in this high output and we shut it off, we turn it back on, we'll still be in the high. If you want kind of quick access to that lowest 10 lumens, if you press and hold while this is off, it'll go into that really low output. You can also get to the turbo by double pressing at any output. So if we're here in this eco, I can double click and go all the way up to the turbo instantly. And that's pretty much it as far as the user interface. That battery level indicator, it only stays on for about 5 seconds or so. And if it's green, it basically means you're above 30%. If you're between 30 and 10%, it will be on red for that 5 seconds. And if you're below 10%, it'll always stay lit and be red. Let's quickly see if an 18650 will work in it. It should. It's the same voltage. There's no like adapter tube or anything, so let's make sure that there's no rattle, because look how much bigger this is here. But we'll see. So there's definitely a rattle there, but the light does work. And it goes through all the different brightnesses. But yeah, it probably would have been nice if they include like a little like plastic adapter sleeve. Alright, let's talk charging here for a minute. So you can take one of these USB-C cables and plug it directly into the battery if you want. We have a red light right there. I assume that probably turns green whenever it's done charging. The other way to charge, which is really the way this flashlight was designed, is to take that same USB-C cable and plug it into this cradle here. This cradle does have like an anti-slip feature here on the bottom of this, so it's going to sit here and it really will not move. Now you take the flashlight and just basically set it down in here, and it's going to be really hard to see, but there's a red glow right now on the bottom of this, letting us know that we're charging here in this cradle. And I think it's the same thing. I believe that turns green whenever it's fully charged. So one of the cool things about this light is that it has a power outage feature. So you have it plugged in, charging like this, and then let's say the power goes out at your house. So I'm just going to unplug this here. The light automatically comes on. You see that there? And it comes on kind of like in the low setting here. And it will stay on basically until you grab it, and then you can manually shut it off or use it, whatever. But it's a really cool feature. Another feature about this is, let's say you're plugged in and you're charging. You can see the little light on right there. Anytime you come over and you lift this off of this charger, the light will automatically come on. And now watch this. When I put it back on the charger, the light will automatically shut off. So yeah, you pick it up, light comes on, you set it back in there, light goes off. And another nice feature about that is when you lift this off, like again, let's just say it's in the dark, the power button automatically illuminates. I can't tell you how many times I'll grab a flashlight in the dark and literally can't find the power button. But yeah, when you lift that off, see how the light's on and the power button's on for those few seconds. So I really like that feature. Alright, let's see what this Brinyte looks like here in the dark. I'm going to start off in the lowest setting first. Again, even that amount is enough to see all the way across this room, no problem at all. But let's go up through them here. You can really start to see that hot spot on the wall over there now. Quite a bit of spill with this light too, though. I mean, it's going from wall to wall easily. Next output, that's a huge bump in power there. Look how big that hot spot is over there. It almost completely washes out that sign. It does seem like that turbo stepped down faster than the 1 or 2 minutes that the manual said. See that, like it goes up to it, and it seems like it does step down fairly quick. All right, now let's look at the WT01 outside. There's a row of trees. It's about 60 or 70 feet in front of me. We'll see, yeah, I can see those pretty easily, even on this lowest setting here. So here on the ground with that, but let's go up to the next output. Now, not that tree, not that tree. There's a tree that's actually in between them. The camera's having a hard time picking it up. It's about 100 yards away, and I can definitely see it with my eyes. Right there it is. So this is like the medium output right now. So for sure over 100 yards. Let's go up to the high. Now you can really see it well now. So lots of throw and lots of spill. It's just a good combination beam. We're easily a couple 100 yards to those trees over there. And again, it will maintain this output basically until the battery gets depleted. But let's try to go up to that turbo again. It doesn't last very long. See, that step down's probably only like 2 or 3 seconds. Well, hopefully seeing those nighttime shots was somewhat beneficial for you guys. So do you guys have any flashlights at all from Brinyte? If so, let me know what your favorite model is down in the comments. There's a lot of things that I really like about this light, and then a few negatives. Let me start by saying that like the build quality on this is exceptional. When you pick this up, it feels like you're picking up a quality tool. I showed you the thickness of the wall of the body earlier, and this thing really is built like a tank. I like that this is ready to go right out of the box. They include charging cables, a rechargeable battery, the cradle, pretty much everything you need. This is actually a pretty good performing light. Even though the turbo steps down really fast, it's still 1600 plus lumens that it maintains basically for hours. And that beam is a nice combination beam, good throw and good spill. User interface is very simple. Click on, press and hold to change your outputs, click off. I like that it has a battery level indicator, so you know when your battery's getting low and it's time to charge. And probably one of my favorite features about this light is this little charging cradle. You don't have to like remove any batteries, you don't have to plug anything into the flashlight. You basically just have that plugged into your wall or whatever and literally just set that down in there and it starts charging for you. I like how when you pull it out, the light will actually automatically come on, and then when you put it back in here, it will automatically shut off. I also like that if there is a power failure, that this light will automatically come on in its lowest output to help you find it easily. A few things I don't necessarily care for. The first has got to be how fast the turbo steps down. It's probably only like 2 seconds or something like that. So really this is a 1650 lumen flashlight because that 2700 almost isn't usable. I actually emailed Brinyte and they told me that the ambient air temperature can really affect how long that turbo stays on. But like in my house right now, it's like 70 degrees. This light has not been on at all today. If I turn it on and then I go up to the turbo, it just stepped down right there. Like I can understand if the light were like really hot and you try going up to turbo and then it steps down kind of fast, but when the light is cold and hasn't been used and it still steps down that fast, that's a little bit too fast in my opinion. My next 2 complaints have to do with the appearance of the light. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just me personally not really caring for it. I don't like this green button here. I think it takes away from the rest of the flashlight, and I wish it was just like a transparent black button. You could still turn it on, you could still see, you know, your battery level indicator and stuff like that there. But they've done the same green button on here for years and years and years. Even though this is a newer release, like an upgraded model, this light's been around for probably 7 years or so, and it's always had that green button. And the other thing I'll say regarding the looks is, let's say you pulled that battery out for whatever reason and you put this back together and you screw it until it's tight. I don't like it how the name and the button don't line up with each other. Now you can bring this back to where they kind of do and the light will still work. Everything functions just perfectly fine. But if you actually tighten it to where it's supposed to go, they don't line up completely. And I know that's a dumb thing, but that bothers me. And the final thing is, I did not like how they don't include an 18650 tube. If you go to their website, it does say that a sleeve should be included. This one came from Amazon and there definitely was not one. But overall, I still think it's a fantastic light with tons of ingenuity, and I would definitely recommend it. So if you guys are looking to pick these up on Amazon, they're coming in around $100. But Brinyte gave me a discount code, which I'll put down in the video description. I believe it's for 20% off, bringing them down to $80 or so. I'll obviously leave the Amazon link down in the video description as well. In case you guys want to find out more information on the light, if you want to read some of the written reviews, or if you want to pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.